My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah.
Hey, good morning, guys. Pops of Paladin here. And if you're wondering where my coffee is, well, it's right here in these nice coffee pouches. Do I drink a lot of coffee? Yes. Am I getting a little outrageous with my caffeine intake? Nah, I don't think so. I enjoy mainlining my coffee pretty much is any direction I can get it. So, take it or leave it, I'm drinking a Mountain Dew today, but I will be drinking a coffee after I finish making this video. But let's get right into a heroic Kil'Jaeden on the Tomb of Sargeras. So this fight for Prot Paladins kind of sucks because we have crap health. And because our crappy health, we have to actually use Stam Flasks and or Stam Trinkets. Now you can do a couple different things. You can use Dark Moon Deck Immortality and Crystalline Scorpid or Memento of Anger Boda, whatever you want. But I actually went full turtle mode, and I went so turtle mode that it's actually kind of a joke with how much I hunkered down. I was like the original Halo 3 kids who would hide in a corner with their sniper rifle, would shoot all like 15 bullets and then run out and camp the sniper rifle again until it respawned, bring it back to their corner again. Like, that's how hard I hunkered down. It's pretty bad. On our next kill, I won't hunker down this much because really, on my specific kill, I have the damage taken tracker to show you how much damage I was taking. And could I have taken less? Yes, but did we have more people dead? Of course. So our kill got elongated further than it should have. But for heroic Kil'Jaeden, it's pretty much the exact same fight on normal. There's only a few little subtle nuances that change, and they all come in the last phase. We can call it phase 5, and or how DBM marks it as phase 3. So phase 1 starts off really quickly. In phase 3, there should only be 2 tank swaps. So the tank originally pulls, and then second tank taunts, and then you transition into intermission phase or phase 2, however you want to label it. If you get a second Armageddon in phase 1, you have 2 little DPS, and it's going to be very difficult for you to beat this fight because you're going to have way too many Armageddons going out in terms of protecting yourself. As you enter into phase 3 or phase 2, whatever this specific phase that we're now in, you want to lust immediately because we want to get out of this phase as quick as possible because this is the soften rage of the fight. All of his abilities begin to stack on top of each other more and more and more and more and more until you can't handle them all at the same time. That's part of the mechanic of the fight. It is a DPS check. For those of you who are struggling, you either need more gear or you need to think about your composition and or mechanics that you're doing. For our group, you noticed I took the first Armageddon with my Divine Shield because I do it on the low. On the second one, I do the second Armageddon with my big bop because everybody can see the crown above my head stating, I am running to this Armageddon, get the hell out of my circle. I was able to take Armageddons 3 and 4 as well on previous pulls, but because of what you're seeing right now on the screen, the tank ad spawns and the tank ad was moving all over the place. And you want that tank ad dead as quickly as possible because you have to eventually taunt the boss while that tank ad is up. And that tank ad only has a little bit of health, but the damage that they output along with the damage that Kil'Jaeden hits you with his first swipe, it did sometimes pretty much one-shot me. And so what we did is as we went into that, my healer monk would bubble me on previous pulls, and then I figured we'd save that because I didn't need something so hectic, so then we started bark skinning me as I was taunting with both the ad and the boss. And that's the easy way to handle it. Now you could meta this and hold Kil'Jaeden through a 6th swipe. Now it is not a 6th application of the Fell Claw. It is just a 6th swipe and or just a regular melee hit. You have to be prepared for that. But then he will cast Wailing Souls on you, and then you can move that Wailing Soul wherever you want because you have now had it cast on you while your other tank taunts, and now you're moving it around. So that's the pretty easy part. Let's talk about how to actually survive Kil'Jaeden and how it goes. On normal level difficulty, you just kind of blazed a trail through it because you didn't really care, just like, you know, we all do on normal, because whatever, it's normal. When you come into heroic, you actually have to pay attention to how you're dealing with your Shield of the Righteous. Now, normally when you're running a very protective build, you never want to sit on 3 Shield of the Righteous. But for this one, I'm going to say you might want to do that if you're going to taunt within the next 2 or 3 seconds. Because when you taunt after that 5th swipe comes out, he is going to swipe you for 2.3, 3.0, somewhere in that range, million damage. So if you don't have something ready for that, you're going to take an immediate chunk, and then you're kind of behind the 8 ball at that point in time. So what you're going to do is you're going to enter into it with 3 charges of the Shield of the Righteous, and you're going to blow a charge, taunt. He's going to hit you. He's going to hit you again. You're going to blow another Shield of the Righteous, and he's going to hit you one more time, typically. And then he's going to start casting his Empowerment, and you get a slight reprieve from him hitting you, so you pretty much get topped off. Your healer should top you off at this point in time. You've generated what I'm going to call a 5th Shield of the Righteous at this point in time, so you should have 2 available, coming right into Fell Claw. And so it's going to say, you know, Fell Claw, use defensive. You're going to use your defensive, pop your Shield of the Righteous about a second before he Fell Claws you. That's going to carry you through 2, almost 3 Fell Claws. So you're going to Shield of the Righteous, get hit, Shield of the Righteous, Hand of the Protector, and then depending on how high health I was, I would either take a 3rd hit, then Eye of the Tear, or Eye of the Tear for that 3rd hit. And I really recommend just Eye of the Tearing for the 3rd hit because it lasts through 3, 4, and 5. There's no real reason to hold it other than the fact that maybe I was using a different ability and my GCD just wasn't quite ready, so I misaligned it. But so it'll be Shield of the Righteous, hit, Hand of the Protector, Shield of the Righteous, Eye of Tear, hit, Hand of the Protector, hit, 2 seconds, Hand of the Protector, and at that 2 second, you are no longer taunting or tanking the boss, so you're not taking damage anymore. Now coming into this final phase, after you saw that brief intermission, you gotta find the little ad, stand in his green circle so you get the buff, and then you can run out and kill the ads. And then you come into this phase. Now, entering into this phase, you want to make sure everybody uses a personal cooldown in order to survive that blast. Make sure everybody gets topped off afterwards, and then you're going to start tanking the boss. Now, you're going to see a couple different abilities. I'm going to talk about the one that's on the screen right now, is Darkness of 1,000 Souls. You're going to move to the Tear. And you don't want to move in too early because you're going to get too many stacks. And you don't want to move in too late because then you're going to cause raid-wise damage. So what I do in my group is I count down 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, get in. We hit, get out, start attacking the boss. The other thing that you're going to notice that comes out is Flaming Orb. And Flaming Orb is going to be a nice orange lava E-circle ball that appears on the screen right now. Everybody needs to get away from it except the person who's going to kite that orb. The longer they kite it, the smaller it is, the less damage it does to them. However, what winds up happening is that as they start to kite that ad, they start getting hit by other abilities, and they die, and then it fixates on somebody else, and then that pools in the wrong spot. So what we do is we just run it to where the tear is going to be, and we just let it explode. Usually our mage is going to use Ice Block or some kind of big immunity to deal with it. You can have a hunter use a turtle and just drop it there. And then the last thing that you saw that just spawned on the screen right now is the obelisks. And the obelisks are going to shoot out green lines in each direction. Think Archimond or a bajillion other bosses where we have that. If you get hit by that line, in the direction that the line is traveling is the direction you are going to travel. So as tank, if you are hit into the raid group while Kil'Jaeden's doing Fell Claws, you're going to Fell Claw your raid group, and they're going to be real pissed because you made it all the way to the final phase and you killed them. So you saw us move our boss a little bit so that way nobody got hit by the obelisk, but sometimes that's a little difficult to do, especially when Fell Claws is going out. Other than that, this boss is actually very easy in terms of its repetition. It's very easy as a Paladin because we have so much life save. I use Sauron's Resolve, so I always had 2 Hand of the Protectors available. I could have used the chest piece, but I maybe potentially could have gotten 3 Guardians of the Ancient Kings out of it. I know for a fact I could have gotten 2 out of it, but I mean, that's one where you're like popping it right away and then popping it and then maybe popping it at the end. So I use Praetus instead because I don't have Heathcliff's Immortality, but I do strongly recommend you using Sauron's Resolve because you need that double heal. If you still have tier 19 gear while doing this fight, good on you, put it on because then you'll get even more heals. I didn't use any tier for this specific fight just because I don't have any. And you can see that I got through it just fine. So I wish you all the best in getting your loot. I'll catch you on the next videos as I start to pop up mythic kills. And good luck all. See you later.